Hi, welcome back to a new video of Adrian's Film Collectibles. Well, for this video, it's quite exciting because I've got two new really lovely rare items, and it all gets very extra special when it's really old. So that's why I like to wear gloves or white gloves just to help to protect the item and to preserve it. So it's just to help keep it clean and it just keeps it safe for like future generations. So I mean, as a collector, I sort of see myself, and probably a lot of other collectors see themselves as you're like a caretaker of preserving these items for future generations for when you're no longer around. So they're kept, hopefully, in the best quality condition for the future. But so starting off with this first item, which is really exciting, which I came across, and this is really old and fragile magazine, and this is actually from Turkey. So this is a really old Turkish magazine from 1938, and it's all in Turkish, so I can't understand it all, but I was able to translate some of the words. So basically, just down here, you've got the 26th of July 1938, issue number 35. And then just here, this says weekly youth paper. And this means fire up here. So it's a really nice, colourful, coloured front cover of Laurel and Hardy. And it's also rarer to get like old papers or magazines back in the day in their prime that actually has images of them on the cover. It's getting harder to find now, and this is really special to find this one. And then if we can open this up just very gently, you have the center page, which is all Laurel and Hardy. So as well as on the front cover with them on, but you've also got all details and pictures on the inside of both Laurel and Hardy, which is really nice. That's like a double page. So yeah, so it's super old, this, and really fragile. And it's really amazing when you get these old sort of paper magazines or old papers that they actually survive after all these years and kept in reasonably good condition. So that's a really lovely original collectible and rare item to have when they were still very active and still very famous in the 1930s. So let's just put that one over there. And then this one, this is a framed picture that I've got. Really lovely picture there with both Laurel and Hardy. And what's really nice about it, it's a postcard that's all handwritten by Stan Laurel, and there's 3 checks. One's been filled in, and you've got 2 example blank ones. But I'll start off with this one first. This is really nice. You can just see there, he's written it all in capitals. I do have one other letter that he's handwritten, but this is different. So it's like he's printed it. So it's really nice. And this has a good bit of history to it, connected to their final film, Atoll K. So I'm going to read this. So basically, this is, as it's been sent 12 o'clock on the 30th of the 5th, 1950, and this is from Paris to Mr. Y. Spalding. So it just says on here, so it's the 30th of the 5th, 50 that Stan's put on here, and he's written, "Dear Will Spalding, thanks for kind birthday card forwarded on from Los Angeles. I too wish you many happy returns. How old will you be?" And don't forget, so Stan, it would have been his birthday in the June, so the following month. I'm going to make a film here with Hardy. We expect to be in England end of September. Thanks again for your thoughtfulness, which I do appreciate. Bye for now, Stan Laurel. A really, really lovely card there, because most postcards I've got of Stan, they're all typed. He's actually typed them more in his retirement time in the early 60s, but it's nice to get this one where they're still together and then on the final part of their career, really. So basically this is really interesting because this is for the production of Atoll K, which was released in 1951. So it was a French-Italian co-production. It was plagued with a lot of problems, and it ran over 9 months. That should have been around 12 weeks to make. Ida, so Stan's last wife, Russian wife, you can hear her saying it in her Russian accent, and basically she says, "I'm hardly likely to forget the date we left for France and the date we returned." So this is all going by my notes that I put down here of what's said about the film. And then she says April 1st, 1950. So this kind of makes sense because this is May 1950. So they would have started the film around April of the same year. And then she said to April 1st, 1951, but there was no April Fooling about that terrible year. That bloody picture was supposed to take 12 weeks to make, and it took 12 months. So there's a lot of reason for that. There was disagreement on the film's screenplay, Stan unhappy with the storyline, communication problems since neither nor Laurel nor Hardy spoke any French, and director Leo Johannan spoke very little English. Both Stan and Ollie were battling serious health problems with Laurel's diabetes, and he was in hospital during production for some time. Laurel's weight dropped to 114 pounds and only able to work for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And then you have Hardy, his hefty weight expanded to 330 pounds and he required medical care for an irregular heartbeat and severe case of the flu. So there were all these different health conditions and language barrier problems. The question is, why is it a film that was made in Europe? Well, because then after 1947, or during 1947-48 onwards, Laurel and Hardy were becoming very, very popular throughout Europe with their tours, especially with the driver's license sketch, which is the autograph that I showed in a previous video that they signed on stage, or from that picture on stage that they signed on the driver's license sketch, which was the sketch that they performed. So basically, it was during those years that they became very, very popular, and then in America, their popularity sort of it died out by that point. So then in Europe, as they became popular, then you had a French-Italian company that decided, well, we could make a picture, and make them popular elsewhere in Europe, and that's what happened. But it wasn't all successful, as I've just gone through there. But that being said, all the gags in the film were all new. They were all new and fresh, whereas from the Fox days in the 40s, or with MGM, with those controlled studios where they couldn't have their own freedom, their own creativity, whereas this film, it was genuine, fresh new gags that they had in Atoll K. But there's a lot of mix-up on its release, different dates, different years. So you have Atoll K as a British version, and then you have Robinson Crusoe Land, which was the UK version, and then you have Utopia, which is in the United States. So in the United States, it was the last place where it was released. And then that was it. That was the final film for Laurel and Hardy. But this is a really important bit of document explaining that, where Stan's saying that they're going to be making a picture here with Hardy as it's being sent from Paris. A really, really lovely piece. And then on this side, there are 3 checks. The first one's all been filled in. And this is to Ida K. Laurel, so this is Stan's widow. again, Russian wife. So this has got February 5th, 68, and then you've got the other date, January 23rd, 68, for $400 paid. And then it's signed by Benjamin W. Shipman. So Ben Shipman was Laurel and Hardy's manager, business partner, and also the attorney as well. And he had to help a lot with their marriage affairs with their past wives and deal with a lot of problems that they went through, and also to help with their movie career. But that's the second signature I've got of Ben Shipman's. I've also got his on another check that's signed to Ida as well. And then you've got two blank checks examples. So basically this is the estate of Stan Laurel. And then you've got a blank one, the estate of Stan Laurel, Benjamin W. Shipman, executor. And then you've got at the bottom again, you've got Laurel and Hardy Trust, Benjamin W. Shipman. So they're two blank examples, all original checks, as you can see there. And of course I will put these on as photos as well, so you can see it all in more detail. So this was a really nice one that I was drawn to, not just because it's signed by Stan Laurel, but because of the detail on it and the historical background on it, and it just makes it all the more interesting, and as a really rare die-hard collectible for hardcore fans like me. So there it is for this one, and I hope you enjoyed it. A bit of history into Laurel and Hardy's last and final film. So thanks for watching this video, everyone, and happy collecting, and see you next time. Bye for now.